Well, good morning, afternoon, or evening. I'm Professor Rios, and I'd like to welcome you to ENV172 World and Regional Geography for Fall Term 2026. This video is not content specific, but rather administrative in nature, simply to get you to look through the classes page that is available early the course opens a full week ahead of the official opening, which is August 31st. So this will be available to you on August 24th. So you get a whole full week to look around and get familiar, think about the course, whether it is you want to invest in it, meaning get the book, because it is a requirement. So you can purchase or get a 14-day free trial, which grants you access to everything without committing you to the expenditure, and then you can decide whether you want to stay in the course or not. But let me be upfront, you do need it in order to make it through the course, because not only are the homeworks based on it and some of the quizzes, but also part of the final exam. So again, your call. I can't make you spend that money, but if you do want to remain in the course and be able to pass it successfully, you do need to get that Pearson Mastering Geography account. You may already have an account for Pearson based on other courses you may have taken. So in any event, just being upfront with you right off the bat. Having said all that, let's begin with the classes page, and here's what it looks like. For now, it has like different looking little images. Eventually, all the images will be this one, even in the smaller slots or modules. I don't know why. It hasn't quite caught up yet. In any event, so this is the class page. There's an announcements section, and there's a total of 6 modules. I believe you will have access to this one as well, but in the end, these 5 are the significant ones. So let's begin with administrative files, which is basically where you begin, or you should begin, your day one place to start. This video that you are watching right now is going to be linked here. Okay, so it's basically a desktop video tour of the classes shell. The course guide and syllabus, which I will go over in a minute, is also going to be listed here. It is file dated 13 August as of the making of this. This is the fact that you do have to pair or link your classes login to Pearson. What that means is, and you do that by going through this right here. Going through this intro assignment, and when you do that through classes, you will accomplish this pairing. And what that means is, and you're probably familiar with it, but in case you're not, it will basically, any work you do in Pearson will automatically reflect inside of the gradebook in classes. So it's not an instant sync that happens, but it syncs quite a few times during the day. So that's the whole purpose of that. And yes, there is about a $100 expenditure for that Pearson login credentials. Again, you get a 14-day free trial access in case you're still weighing whether it be financial support or whether you want to remain in the course. And I understand if it is not something you want to do. I fully respect that, but I'm being upfront in that you do need to do that in order to be able to complete the homeworks and in order to be able to take part in the final exam, which is a significant portion of your final grade. So bear that in mind. Again, here's the homework. This is like a little intro homework. I believe it's like worth 5 total points. Pretty straightforward. But when you complete this, that's where you either choose the 14-day trial or pay for it. Regardless of what option you choose, you have now paired your course between classes and Pearson. Documenting the use of, the ever-present, ubiquitous AI, that 2-letter little annoying acronym, which is now everywhere. And the whole point of this is to get you to think before you click submit. AI is not a license to cheat, and without attribution, it is cheating. So just, again, being totally upfront and as blunt as I can be. People have failed, not only this class, but many others, by cheating with AI. Again, if you have questions and that video doesn't explain it, then you need to ask, because this is going to become a bigger and bigger and bigger deal as time goes on. And it affects every aspect of academia. And in the end, academia is all about, the whole idea of academic integrity. Without it, it's kind of a joke. So think about it. AI is an amazing tool and it can be exceptionally useful, but it also tends to, in many ways, dumb down the general population, because you just get used to, oh, well, that's it. Copy, paste, and I'm done. Yeah. What did you learn at that point? Not a lot, probably. So, the whole idea of critical thinking and all that. So again, it's sort of an ongoing, ever evolving. It's different this term than it was last term and a year ago and 2 years ago. And it will be very different by the time next year rolls around. So just keep that in mind. Again, if you have questions, it is incumbent on you to ask for clarification. Google Earth, which is used significantly in the course, and the Earth Wind Map, which is sort of a Google Earth, but for environmental data, strictly environmental data versus just mapping. So this is where you get going. This is your day one place to start. So please bear that in mind. Now the lesson folders. So lesson folders are broken down into units. Unit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then there's the final exam. Unit 1, for example, encompasses weeks 1 and 2. And if you'll notice, weeks 1 and 2 are open from August 24th through September 13th. So you get a significant amount of time. Okay, so both week 1 and week 2 have the exact same deadlines for everything. So for week 1, let's look into that specific week. Notice there's a to-do list. This is your checklist. Did I do task 1, 2, 3, and so on? Great, I'm done. That simple, okay? And for example, the first Google Earth activity isn't due until September 10. The first discussion is not due until September 11. And by the way, that also accounts for week 2. So this is sort of the peril in this, is that you can, if you want, wait till week 2 to do everything. But you're going to have 2 weeks worth of material due all at the exact same time. So the efficient student will, get going early during that first week, even if it's just organizational. Weeks 1 and 2, divvy up the work between that, and that way you don't have that much work to do at the very, very end. But again, you manage your time as you see fit. I'm just trying not to get you to get to the end and then have everything due at once, because that's just not fun. In addition, you'll probably have other courses that you are having deadlines for. Each week, again, has the to-do list, a PDF, a chapter based on those slides, homework, a Google Earth assignment. This isn't going to happen every week. I think there's a total of 6. How to use it, some other links that you can take advantage of, and of course, the discussion for this particular week. Now, if you go to week 2, you will note that there's also a to-do list, a set of slides, a video based on those slides, a couple more links, a homework, a discussion. Here's another Google Earth assignment, and oh look, week 1 and 2 quiz. This is a timed quiz. Okay, so again, bear in mind, this is timed and you get 20 minutes. That's on purpose. They're meant to be quick events. You should do these at the very, very end. and take advantage of that, because you shouldn't do the quiz first. And in fact, the quizzes really become available on Wednesdays of the actual week. So in this case, it's Wednesday of week 1. This becomes a little bit more meaningful once you get into weeks 3 and beyond. So that's it. Notice how week 1 and 2, let's pick another week, and let's say week 7. Just to show you that it's pretty repetitive and predictable. So you have a to-do list, PDF slides, video, homework, discussion, quiz. That's it. Pretty straightforward. So bear that in mind as you attack these specific events. My recommendation is always do forum discussions first. That should be the first thing you do each week. The homework, and you should leave, and then of course a Google Earth assignment should be also attempted before homework and before the quiz, and the quiz should be left to the very end. That's the most efficient, in my opinion, way of attacking the material. Again, you have other classes, some of you have jobs, families, husbands, wives, whatever the case may be, so you may be busier than your average student. So I would recommend that you get into a predictable routine that will allow you the most flexibility. Okay? So that's the breakdown of the course. Now, the live office hour, that's in, and I had to fix this. In fact, I'll fix it right now. There you go. And here has a password and has a Zoom link, and it becomes available anywhere really between noon and 6 on Wednesdays. However, that may or may not work for you. So if you simply want to address anything and you want to do a Zoom meet, just send me an email and I'll be happy to set it up with you. And it could be on a Wednesday, a Tuesday, a Friday, a Monday, a Sunday, a Saturday. It doesn't really matter. Just get with me and let me know. As far as ways of contacting me, I give you both obviously my PACE address, but I also give you my alternate, and I give you my Google Voice number. Now, if you rather, you can text with this. If you rather text, if you're one of those individuals who just prefers to deal with people that way, text me, but just tell me, hey, it's so-and-so. Hi, this is so-and-so from your ENV172 class. Got it. It's a lot of spam on Google Voice. So sometimes it's hard to tell, is that a New York number? Maybe your number isn't from New York. Maybe your number is from, I don't know, Georgia, because that's where you happen to be from, or California, or wherever. So let me know, because I may or may not recognize it as a local number or a number of a student. So just identify yourself. And so that's the basic setup, the basic course shell on classes. Again, you have modules, you have a set of announcements, so the announcements all go here, and once an announcement is set and sent, it creates an email that goes to your PACE account. So you should be able to see it twice. But because it is an asynchronous online class, you should log in regularly. There's an app for it. I mean, how many apps do you all have that you check daily, right? Instagram, TikTok, email, whatever, your weather apps. Check it once. See if there's anything new. It'll take you literally no time, and then you won't fall behind. And it's kind of critical in an online class to kind of keep up, because stuff can come up real quickly. There may be an error that I need to fix and address, an extension, whatever. So again, let me know. So this is the course shell on classes. I'll quickly go over the syllabus and course guide, again, dated for fall 2026. Lots of stuff here that I'm not going to go over. You can read this on your own. It's about 10 pages total. So you can this is what so you're going to have an ebook. There's no book to buy. It's all electronic, and that's what the cover of it is. This is the breakdown of the material in the course. So it's percentage. It used to be point-based. It isn't point-based anymore. It is now percentage based. So the final exam, which comes in 2 parts, accounts for 30%. Forum discussions, 30%. Lowest one dropped. Quizzes, except for the first combined quiz, the lowest one is dropped. Google Earth homeworks, all count, 20%. And the Pearson homeworks, 10%. And at the very, very end, there is your actual syllabus. So if you'll notice, weeks 1 and 2 have the exact same dates. Weeks 13 and 14 also have the exact same dates. So that is quite a bit of time. And then the final exam period is from December 7th through the 17th. Part 1 is on December 13th, and Part 2 is due by December 17th. And that's basically it. That's kind of what I wanted to cover without really getting into far more detail. If this video still didn't answer some of your questions, and that's perfectly fine, please get with me. Again, email. You can text me using Google Voice. You can drop me a note through classes. Again, ask questions. And hopefully get going early. The course opens early thanks to PACE allowing that a full week ahead of time. So you get a full week really without the possibility of any penalty to look through everything, make sure it is what you want. Because I fully understand and respect that, hey, maybe it isn't the course for you. Maybe it's not a course you'd enjoy. Maybe it is a course you'd enjoy, but you're still weighing whether you want to spend the money or not. I get all that. So that way, if it isn't a course that you want to stick with, then, it's probably easier to withdraw at that point rather than waiting till week 2 or 3. So let me know. If you have any questions, again, email or text, and I'll be happy to interact with you in whatever way you find more comfortable. Otherwise, I hope you have a great fall semester. I look forward to interacting with you, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.